episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we're going to focus on the foreign direct investments that are being pumped into Egypt, especially under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and the directives of His Excellency, as well as the measures that were taken by the Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli in the past few years to be getting more and more foreign direct investments, as we will be heading in the upcoming years to the mark of $12 billion, which would be marking at least a growth of between 20 and 30%. But we'll be starting straight away with the main top stories for today, which focus on the main and the same agenda and the same topic for today, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi inaugurated strategic projects in the Suez Canal Economic Zone, the SC Zone. During the inauguration, President al-Sisi stressed that the development achieved was the result of joint efforts, pointing to the Egyptian distinguished geographical location and the presence of the Suez Canal as a global shipping lane. President al-Sisi reviewed the challenges that faced the implementation of the Suez Canal Economic Zone project in 2015, noting that the will and the hard work enabled the state to reach the desired goals. President al-Sisi thanked Maersk company for fulfilling its commitments, affirming Egypt's aspiration for the company and the other investors operating in Egypt to increase their investments. The President affirmed that Egypt is now witnessing the result of the achievements in the ports, railways, roads, axes and the energy sectors. Al-Sisi also hailed the Egyptian people's support and resilience in facing challenges, calling for continued efforts and sacrifice to reach more accomplishments for the benefit of the current and the future generations. And to be shedding more light on such an important topic and the event for today, I'm honored to be having with me over the phone Engineer Sherin and Naggar, the maritime and logistics expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime. First of all, how do you see the importance of the event for today happening in East Port Said with the presence of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi at the Suez Canal Economic Zone?
Well, first of all, the presence of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, to start off with, is an encouragement and is a signal to the world that Egypt is basically developing and progressing, and the interest in investments and in development is not focused upon only by the administration, but it goes all the way from the top of the pyramid right down to the base, starting by the president and all the way down to the government, the prime minister, ministers, and the actual implementers of this development. So, but I still feel that this is stage one. We haven't even started yet. I mean, a lot of people are saying about Egypt today, well, Egypt's about time that developers showed more positive signs in Egypt, which it is now, and they basically say that the sky is the limit. If you look at the Suez Canal Economic Zone, it is basically the banks of the Suez Canal, the three cities of the Suez Canal. New cities are being built, industrial parks are being built, investors are coming everywhere, and they have every right to do so, because the trade lane, the world's main trade lane, covering between 12 and 18% of the world trade, is the Suez Canal. So it is easy to interchange cargoes in all those three places. So it's obvious, and it is the ideal place where you come in and you build up your industries, and then you can exchange raw materials very easily, you can exchange finished products very easily, you can collect and you can distribute. There are three hubs in the area, be it Port Said, be it Sokhna, and be it Damietta. And all these three hubs can cater for a lot more cargoes than what they are doing at the moment. And as I said, there is so much potential for expandability, which is not really something, a luxury that many countries and many neighboring countries have. Like Egypt, I mean, Suez Canal Economic Zone, look at the eastern side. Basically, you have the whole of Sinai behind you, and Sinai can take development after development, and you can spend decades developing Sinai, and you still not even start. There's potential there is absolutely massive. So yes, we have started, and it is very much appreciated that the President himself is giving personal attention to this development. And of course, this will only add benefit, and it will add value to the Egyptian trade and to the Egyptian location. And this is of course coupled by the Suez Canal presence as well, which I'm very hopeful, and the whole world is very hopeful, will be coming back to normal traffic very soon.
Yes, Engineer Sherin and Naggar, as you mentioned that today His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he inaugurated a number of projects, but President al-Sisi mentioned the challenges that began with the idea of implementing the Suez Canal Economic Zone, which took place in 2015, maybe a decade ago. In your opinion, what were the main challenges that we had to overcome to be seeing what we did see today?
Well, main challenges are two things. First of all, the inheritance we have from government bureaucracy over decades of retarded management and very inefficient management, which when you have inefficiency, you get red tape and you get bureaucracy after bureaucracy after bureaucracy, and then suddenly you sink under bureaucracy and never know where to start. This is exactly what happened. I mean, the Suez Canal Economic Zone could have been multiple times its size now if there was not that huge amount of bureaucracy which we have been suffering from. Now, the liberation of bureaucracy, although not complete yet, has gone a long way. That is why now you are seeing there is many signals of improvement, and in fact very positive signals, and very large improvement. And you can see that countries, not just manufacturers, countries in totality, like China, for example, the Sukhna Chinese park called Tida, it's a huge thing, and the Chinese are not happy with the size. They want even to expand the size to double the size of their investment. It's a huge thing. Then you get Russia doing the same. You get Germany now starting to discuss a few things. I am sure soon also England and the Commonwealth will be joining. You also have India, but India is going maybe a step in a different direction, which is the EMEC project, and I dare say EMEC project is a very interesting project. It's the India Middle East Economic Corridor, and that passing through Egypt will add a huge value to transport, because land, railways we have, roads we have, infrastructure we have, and bureaucracy we still have, but it has been diminished tremendously, and we still have a couple of steps to go before we actually annihilate bureaucracy altogether, because that is really the killer of any progress in any nation in the world, not just Egypt. And we are doing this very successfully, and the mere presence of the President today and his personal interest and looking over what is going on in the Suez Canal Economic Zone only indicates that the administration and the head of the state is in person looking to develop this and to increase this investment. And I think within maybe the next 10 years, you will see that Egypt will become an industrial powerhouse, not just in the Middle East, but in the whole world.
Yes, Engineer Sherin Naggar, the maritime and the logistics expert, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate over the phone. Meanwhile, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi announced the launch of the 5th version of the African Union's Week for Post-War Awareness on reconstruction and development. The event that starts Monday, November the 17th to the 23rd is held under the title of Rebuilding a New Life After Strife Through Compensatory Justice. In a statement, Sisi said that the African continent is facing numerous complex security and developmental challenges, coinciding with a number of threats like climate change repercussions. He said that this has made Africa a top region most affected by the global circumstances. He said Africa is full of resources and tremendous human capital and has gone far in the path to launch such resources to boost peace, security and development across its countries. He also hailed the efforts by the African Union Center for Post-War Reconstruction and Development and the African Union's Commission in this regard. He said that he is committed to exerting all efforts in coordination with the African and the international partners to achieve the African Agenda 2063. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on Sunday, the 29th edition of the 2025 ICT exhibition and conference with the attendance of Minister of Communications and Information Technology Amr Talat. The opening of the Information and Communication Technology exhibition brought together the government officials, industry leaders and technology companies to mark the start of a multi-day program of exhibition, panels and product demonstration across the venue. Cairo ICT serves as a platform for the firms to present developments in telecommunications, software and digital services to regional and international audiences. The 29th edition of the gathering reflects a long-standing role in the Egyptian technology calendar and underscores the continued interaction between the public sector and the private sector investors in the ICT field. And finally, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati received Mr. Abdullah Sabir Fadul, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Chad. The meeting came on the sidelines of the meetings of the Joint Committee between Egypt and Chad to discuss issues of mutual concern and ways to strengthen bilateral relations. In a joint press conference with the Chadian counterpart, Abdulati stressed the commitment to elevate bilateral relations to broader horizons and cooperation with Chad in various fields, especially military cooperation and training and building capacity of the Chadian security forces. The Foreign Minister praised the significant cooperation between both countries in the infrastructure projects in Chad, especially the Egypt-Libya-Chad road. He also expressed Egypt's interest in increasing trade and investment with Chad. And we will be heading to the first report of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the efforts of Egypt to be reaching a growth of between 20 and 30% in the foreign direct investments, to be reaching $12 billion by the year 2025. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report, so stay tuned.
Minister of Finance Ahmed Kojak said the ministry is building on what has been achieved in the partnership and confidence track with investors. He explained that the government has implemented 20 tax reforms last year, which helped simplify procedures, provide additional facilitations and build trust with investors. Kojak added that the government aims to carry out an impartial evaluation of the first set of tax facilitations to improve performance and identify any areas that need improvement, noting that they reduced the time and cost of customs clearance last year through strong coordination with the Ministry of Investment and Foreign Trade. Kojak also welcomed the launch of the initiative to support industrial sector with £120 billion and another to stimulate tourism with £50 billion. explaining that they are working to support the national industry and make Egypt a hub for production, exportation, and attracting major local and international companies. There has been significant improvement in most economic indicators, and it is important to note that 73% increase in private sector investments last year. Meanwhile, Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade Hassan Al-Khatib announced that Egypt aims to increase foreign trade investment inflows by 20 to 30% this year, targeting around $12 billion by the end of 2025. Al-Khatib said Egypt's annual FDI inflows currently range between $8 billion and $10 billion, noting that the present period represents a strong opportunity to attract more investments despite global economic headwinds and declining capital flows. He stressed that the government is focused on enhancing the competitiveness of Egypt's investment climate through accelerated structural reforms and the adoption of more flexible and stable economic policies. Speaking at the Enterprise AM Egypt Forum, Al-Khatib underlined the importance of establishing a clear roadmap for promising sectors capable of attracting an additional $30 billion in investments by 2030 to sustain growth rates of 6 to 7%. He highlighted digital transformation as a cornerstone of Egypt's strategy to improve the business environment, revealing that more than 96 government entities previously interacted with investors through multiple systems and fees. A comprehensive plan has been launched to streamline this process, consolidating them into just 5 systems in its initial phase. In June, the ministry rolled out a temporary unified digital platform connecting 41 government bodies and offering over 460 online services for investors. Al-Khatib said a new integrated platform will soon be introduced to cover all stages of company established licensing and approvals, simplifying procedures, reducing time and costs, and aligning with global best practices. He also pointed out that with support from the World Bank, Egypt has identified key FDI priority sectors: tourism, information technology, automotive components, agriculture and textiles, which have already attracted increasing interest from Turkey, China and other markets. He noted that the government is implementing targeted programs to boost production and exports, including the Automotive Industry Development Program, which has so far attracted 4 companies, with another major manufacturer expected to establish a regional hub in Egypt soon. While tourism remains a key pillar of the economy, Al-Khatib said the government's current focus is on building strong national companies in promising sectors to ensure sustainable growth and strengthen Egypt's role as a regional trade and investment center. Egypt is developing an integrated economic system linking key sectors, transport, utilities and services, to improve competitiveness and double export growth within 3 years through sustainable investment-driven expansion of GDP.